Hey guys, and for those of us who are just starting out into woodworking, a lot of us very well may be building our first few projects out of pine. In this case, I'm getting ready to build a custom hand tool bench, so I am using a bunch of pine, but the tips that I'm about to give in this video would definitely help you guys on all your furniture making. So I grabbed a bunch of 2x12s. It's always better to grab a wider board that you can then rip down to your final material. One, because you can actually select the grain orientation, and it gives you the chance to remove the heart center or the pith, which is that little section right there in the middle of the board. That's typically the center part where the tree actually is growing outward from, so it's the least stable part of the board. So if you can remove that, the pieces that you actually have at the end will be a lot more stable. And also you can see how the growth rings are actually kind of arching around the board. So if I rip a 2.5 inch board on that left hand off that left hand side of that piece, all the grain will be running vertical, so I have a rift sawn board, versus if I took this whole 2x12 and had the grain pretty much arching all the way around in a dome shape or plane sawn, the board is more likely to cup. So by breaking it down to separate sections and also looking at the end grain on the both ends of the board, I can then make sure that I'm yielding the best quality material that I can. And another thing, if you guys are just starting out in woodworking, you're making your first projects, definitely, take your time when you pick through the boards that you're going to be using. As you can see, those two right there on the left hand side, they have a lot of vertical grain. So as I rip that piece up, I can get a lot of rift sawn pine from that section, versus all the other ones that have like those elongated growth rings that kind of arching across the whole entire board. I can get some fairly straight, or not even rift, but that's quarter sawn pieces out of some of those. But the straighter grain that you can get, the more stable the pieces that you work with will be. So take that into consideration before you start your next project. If you guys have enjoyed, let me know down below. Leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.